Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving deep into the world of FinOps.
FinOps.
Yeah, financial operations for the cloud. We're going to try to understand how procurement is changing. In a cloud-based world, it's not just about getting the best price on paper clips anymore, right?
Great.
So, to help us unpack all of this, we have an expert with us today. Welcome to the show.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
So let's jump right in. Our sources for this deep dive basically say that procurement is, well, it's transforming. Like it's moving from kind of a back office function to, a more strategic role in the cloud. What's behind this shift?
Well, I think the cloud has really changed how we consume technology, right? It's not like the old days when you just bought a server or got those software licenses and called it a day. Now it's all about services, and these services are constantly evolving. This means procurement has to evolve too to keep up.
It sounds like it can get pretty complicated trying to keep track of everything, especially with all these different cloud services popping up. Our sources actually talk about different procurement personas within FinOps. What exactly are those?
Yeah, those personas are fascinating, aren't they? Think of them as different roles that procurement professionals play. So you have your negotiator who's laser focused on getting the best possible deals from the cloud providers. Then there's the analyst. They're all about digging into the data, figuring out where you can optimize costs, and maybe even use a little less of those cloud services. And then this is a big one. You have the strategist. They're thinking big picture, aligning all these procurement decisions with the organization's overall cloud strategy.
So it's not just about saving money here and there.
Exactly.
It's about making sure that those cloud resources are actually helping the organization achieve its goals.
Precisely.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense. It's like you wouldn't just buy a fleet of trucks without figuring out what you're going to use them for, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You need a plan.
You need a plan, and the strategist helps create that plan. For example, one of our sources talked about a retail company that really nailed this. They used this whole strategic procurement approach to manage their cloud spending, especially for their e-commerce platform. They really thought ahead, anticipating growth, picking the right services, negotiating good deals, and it paid off.
That's great. It seems like they were able to scale up without any major budget headaches.
Exactly. They were prepared.
That's impressive. But our sources also point out that there are some pretty big challenges in this whole cloud procurement thing. One that really stood out to me was this idea of limited visibility into cloud costs. What does that actually mean in practice?
It's like, imagine trying to manage your household budget, but you have like 5 different people in your house all making online purchases, and they're all using different credit cards.
And you're only seeing the final bill at the end of the month.
Exactly. That's kind of what it's like for procurement in the cloud. You don't always have that clear line of sight into who's spending what, which services they're using. It makes it really tough to, optimize your spending and prevent waste.
So how do you fix that? What can procurement teams actually do to get a better handle on all these cloud costs?
Well, one thing they can do is implement something called a cloud management platform.
A CMP.
Yes, a CMP. Think of it like a centralized dashboard. It pulls all your cloud spending data, from across the entire organization into one place. With a CMP, procurement teams can finally see, which departments, which teams, even which individual projects are using which resources, how much they're spending, and whether they're actually using those resources efficiently.
So it's about getting that granular detail, right?
Exactly.
So you can see exactly where the money is going.
Yes, it's all about transparency and data.
That makes a lot of sense. But even with the right tools, you still need a way to make sense of all that data, right? That's where the metrics come in. And I got to admit, some of the stuff in our sources about activity-based costing went a little over my head.
Yeah, activity-based costing, that's a mouthful, isn't it?
Yeah, can you break it down for us? What is that all about?
Sure. Basically, it's a way to figure out the actual cost of every single activity or service that your organization uses in the cloud. So instead of just knowing, the total amount you spent on data storage, you're breaking it down further.
So you can see the cost per gigabyte.
Exactly. And then you can compare different storage options or even different cloud providers to see which one is actually the most cost-effective.
So it's about being smart and strategic with every single penny you spend in the cloud.
Precisely. And that's why procurement is becoming so important in the cloud era.
It's not just a back office function anymore.
Not at all. It's about adding real strategic value to the entire organization.
I like that. So as a final thought for our listeners, what do you think the future holds for procurement? as cloud technology continues to grow and change so rapidly?
That's a great question. I think we're going to see even more specialization within procurement. The skills that procurement professionals need are going to have to evolve too. They'll need data analysis skills, expertise in cloud contracts, and even a good understanding of sustainability in the cloud.
Wow, so it's a really exciting time to be in procurement.
It really is. There's so much potential to make a real impact.
I completely agree. Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. We hope you learned something new about the evolving world of procurement in the cloud. Thanks for listening.